Hey everyone, want to stick with us versus herd. If it's your first time here, like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we post videos, tap the bell. If you want to join our options trading live channel, link is below in the description. We go live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before market open. If you want to join our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook, our community, link is below as well. If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. If you could do me a favor, hit the like button for the YouTube algo. I mean, today was just insanity. I mean, we had the jobs report come back better than expected. We were up 2.5 million jobs versus being down 8.5 million or 7.5 million. So quite the reversal, showing signs of recovery from the coronavirus pandemic. Apple hit all-time highs. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, looking at SPY, I mean, it just ripped up to, I mean, it hit 321. Like I said, I was watching SPY for this area in here, and we gapped up above it, and it looks like we have a runner. People are piling into the financials. You know, Apple really wasn't going up all that much this morning, but it did make some moves. I mean, it opened up flat and just kept kind of grinding up the rest of the day up to 331. And Boeing was up big. Boeing was up 11%. It did sell off quite a bit, but Boeing did. So getting into my trades real quick, you know, what I did today. Today I started out the day with okay, sorry about that. Today I started out the day, I was down about $200 on the day, closed the day up a little bit over $950, about $900 today, a little bit more than that, something like that. But here we are, here's the P&L. We had a pretty crazy day. It didn't do like a whole lot of trades, but my first trade today was DOCU. DOCU we got in a little bit of trouble with, and the reason why we got in a little bit of trouble is I put on an iron condor for earnings, came in amazing. I got a 960 credit, bought it back for $694, and the reason why I said I got a little bit screwed up, sure, I did make $266, but because right at open, I mean, DOCU was flat at open, and I was trying to get out of the position, and all of the brokerages basically froze up. And you know, Thinkorswim was lagging. Even Tastyworks was like, I was in awe on the live stream this morning. I couldn't believe that Tastyworks, you know, it wouldn't let me get out of the order. It wouldn't let me place an order. I couldn't do anything, and then it was selling off. Like DocuSign, you know, opened up flat. I was up around $700. I made $266, but because of that, I couldn't get out, and I sold closer down to the bottom, like the 132, 133 area, and it bounced back. Sure, I could have been more patient, but you know, I didn't want to lose on that trade. I didn't want to have a losing trade because I knew that I was going to be losing on work. So this actually would have came in like max profit. I mean, this closed down like flat, 42 cents only, and there was the expected move for today was like $11, $12. I mean, you can see here, on each side here, on the call side and the put side, 98% loss, 96% down, 94%, 88%, 99% down. So it would have been perfect. Would have been a perfect trade. Would have made about $900, $800, or at least $700 at open. It didn't. So that's the dice. That's what you're given sometimes. And you know, I'm definitely glad that I didn't close it out red, but the reason why I was so adamant of wanting to get out of there green is because I knew work was going to be max loss. And the reason why work was I had an iron condor on here as well, closed it out for max loss because it went way beyond the expected move. It was only supposed to move like $4. It moved like at the bottom, it was like 30. It did recover some, but I was so deep in the money. You know, it didn't even matter. I did the same strategy that I did in DocuSign, but because it went beyond the expected move, I was gonna be max loss. Sure, it did come back up a little bit, but I just held on because I thought, hey, can this coast up to 35? It tried to, and 35 was my break even. I just couldn't do it, so I said, okay, I'm just gonna trade my way out of it. And at that point, I was down. You know, I was down a little bit on the day, 200 on the day this morning, and you know, we had to crawl our way back up to the top. I mean, it was not like some days you just have slam dunks, and some days you really got to grind. Some days you just got to grind, right? And what did I do today? QQQ, I got QQQ at open today was the only short position I had on. I was short. I had a debit put spread on QQQ. I got out with a $48 loss. Definitely glad I got out of there because that was the only thing I was short. We opened up, the Qs opened up around, they opened up around 235. I mean, spiked up to 240. So would have been terrible. So I'm glad I got out with minimal damage. So other than the Qs and work, relatively a good day. Didn't really have any losses anywhere else. I did day trade DKNG. So DKNG, I made $124 on that. Made about 15%. Bought it for 230. Sold for 261. And I bought the 40 call for next week expiration DKNG. What I noticed on DKNG is it was kind of chilling around here on 40. It definitely spiked up a little bit more. So I bought it. What time did I buy it? 10:21. So I bought it at 10:21 right in here. It did dip, but then we ripped back up to 41 and I sold it at 12:31. So I sold it surprisingly right at the top. So got out of there really clean. Definitely not making it up. 12:31 right here, as you can see, time stamped. So I'm actually surprised. I mean, you don't catch it like that. My entry wasn't the best, so I got in at 10:21. So I got in like right. I got right in here because I thought it was going to ramp up to like 41 and a half, and it didn't. Came down. However, my stop loss, I was like, okay, if it breaks 39, I'll just cut it loose. However, I did have time on my side because I had till next week expiration, so it wasn't a big deal if I had to hold overnight or anything. But I didn't want to. I wanted a day trade, and thankfully it popped up to 41. Got out with my 15%. Quick day trade, got out. And, because at that point I was down on the day, I had to start building up the confidence. I wasn't looking for like big winners. I wasn't looking for big gainers, and I already kind of missed the run on Boeing and stuff like that. So I was looking for opportunity. And the other trade that I did, so that's where I made money on DKNG. The rest of the trades were kind of just Tesla was a big one. Tesla was huge. So what I did is I sold premium twice in Tesla, same day expiration. And originally, I got a $1.58 credit for a credit spread. I was short the 875 put. I bought the 870. Bought it back for 95 cents. But the big one was the 880, 885 credit put spread. So I was short 885, long 880, and I got a 428 credit, bought that back for 50% profits on that, and my max loss on here was actually at $160. I mean, it was crazy. That was my biggest win today was Tesla, 552 all day, trading these two spreads. And Tesla, really what I was looking at on Tesla was it defending this 875. It was defending it. When it popped up to 880, I sold my first spread at 1147. So when it popped up here, I sold it. And then the second time it ramped up, I guess I could have held on, but they expired today, so it was a little bit risky. So when it popped up here, I took profits, and we made a couple bags on that. So thankfully, we got through the day, profitable. I was like, a day like today, how can I lose? I didn't want to be red. I didn't want to like overtrade either. So I just wanted to keep pressing forward. Now GrubHub was a big one. Today. And what did I do on GrubHub? Here is I kind of give you some context. I put this trade on. Let me just go back to the last 30 days, last 14 days. I've been holding this for a while. Okay, so GrubHub I've been holding it for 3 weeks now. So on May 13th, I bought a debit spread to kind of give you some context here. I bought this 65 call and I shorted the 75 call for June expiration. As time went on, I took about $80 worth of profit, and I bought back the 75. I bought the 75 call back, So the premium, because GrubHub went down, and this was only worth 25 cents. So the 75 call at the time on a couple days ago, May 29th, it was only worth 25 cents. So I said, hey, why do I even have this on? I'll take in the profits, and then I bought a 65 call. So now I'm holding. So that at this point in time, I have 2 of the 65 calls. Okay, and I didn't have any short, so it was no longer a spread. I was just right here. I had 2 of these long 65 calls, and then today there was some news that GrubHub, is taking bids from some other people in terms of a buyout from some European companies, and that kind of thing is what caused the spike up. Now, for me, I didn't want to, so I'm at this point I'm long 2 naked calls at 65. They ripped up pretty good, but I didn't really want to sell. So what did I do? Is I shorted right here. I shorted the 70 strike against my 65 call. So right now, I've already collected about $100 worth of premium from the initial $75 call, and now this risk, like max loss, like both these go to zero, I'm down $30. Okay, I'm down $30, and I've already made some. This is a profitable trade. So what I did is I wanted to keep the calls, so I shorted some calls against it. These are actually up quite a bit, so we'll see. Maybe we'll take this trade off on Monday and then see kind of where we're at, because I shorted the 70 strike calls when it was spiking up, and these are already in 54%. They're only worth 60 cents right now on GrubHub. So, and I got for these, they're only worth 60, 70 cents. And I got $1.85, a whopping $1.85 credit, and it already came down to like 60, 70 cents. I mean, just crazy. I mean, someone paid this, last price here's what people pay. Someone paid 60 cents for this. So someone bought these for $1.85 when I shorted them, and now they're going for 70 cents. Well, at the time, 60 cents. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's spiking up a little bit after hours here. So right now, basically kind of like a free spread, and we're just kind of rolling. I've already took my profits off the 75 strike that I was shorting, and I rolled it into the 65 calls, and now we kind of have a free trade. So if it goes up more, we'll make some money, and maybe I can take this. I might take these 70 calls off, redeploy, and kind of go from there. Also, Boeing, when Boeing sold off, I did get into a debit spread on Boeing. Boeing came down to the 205 area, so I'm in July. I bought the 215 call, and I shorted the 235 call, so it looks like this, kind of heading up into earnings. So it looks similar to this. I'm long 215, short 235, and I paid for this. Just make sure I get rid of that data there. I paid $5.78 for this spread. So, we'll see what happens. Overall, a good day. I mean, there was a lot. It was kind of high risk, especially with the Tesla spreads, but we try to reduce risk. Saw some opportunities, and we took advantage. So if you watch this video to the end, comment watch to the end. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.